6.
Can't be. That's inside the room.
It's reading right, man. Look.
Well, you're not reading it right.
5 meters, man. 4. What the hell? Oh, my God. Oh, shit.
Give me the light.
Turns out
put her in charge, man.
Newt the mute starts to speak.
Yeah.
Turns out it turns out crashing that the drop ship into the facility was a bad move because it did activate the big explosion. And they've got, I think 4 hours to get off planet before it goes nuclear.
Yeah.
So they have to send poor Android Bishop out to get to the relay to contact the other drop ship from the ship, their big ship, the Sulaco, to come down and save them. So Bishop just disappears for a while. Yes.
So and then the best plan after that? Nuke him.
Go ahead.
Only way to be sure.
Nuke him from orbit.
The line is like, nuke from orbit. Only way to be sure.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, this is where it starts to come out that Burke maybe is not on the up and up, because I believe it's one point he says that this is a very important species, a species that they do not have a right to eradicate.
Yeah, he's definitely losing the thread there.
Yeah, and he tries to put a stop to it until they realize, oh, it's a military operation. Shut up, Burke.
We got the guns. You can go fuck yourself.
But Burke has other plans, which are to have face huggers impregnate Newt and Ripley while they sleep with chest bursters, and then he can put them in cryo sleep and take them back for all the money.
And he wouldn't have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those damn kids.
And I would have made millions if it hadn't been for you meddling kids.
Really, he would have gotten away for it if it wasn't for the fire system, the fire suppressant system.
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point where Ripley and Newt, there's a whole bunch of bonding stuff with Ripley and Newt. Yeah, okay.
But that scene between Ripley and Newt was very reminiscent of the first movie, I felt like. With the face hugger. It was very suspenseful, more suspenseful than the regular pace of the movie. Oh, yeah. The movie kind of slows down, but it is very like, it's just... Whoever the sound engineers were for that scene were like on point. Like it's just
it's not a lot. It's very tense. It's very
Wake up. Be quiet.
I'll give you that. When you said, I was like, Newt, and I just the context dropped out in the reference. But yeah.
Well, because Newt tries to kill Ripley with that magazine in her mouth.
I mean, I learned it from you.
Yeah. So, and when you think about the logistics behind it, so what had to happen is Burke had to take the colony had live face huggers in jars they had captured. They were studying to figure out what to do. Burke had to take those jars, put them in the room that both Newt and Ripley were sleeping in, not wake them up, take the top off, hurry up out of there, close the door and seal it so that they would be attacked.
I don't see anything wrong with this plan.
Yeah,
I'm mad about it.
Yeah, because they would, if they were in cryosleep, they wouldn't have been found and considered a biohazard because it's like they couldn't get them off the planet prior to this because it was a biohazard and they wouldn't be released. So they couldn't get it past customs essentially. So that was Burke's like way around, because if they were just taking back a jar with the egg in it, it wouldn't have gotten past customs. Like I'm trying to think of like however
I think even then it wouldn't have gotten past customs. But what would have happened? Burke's plan that Ripley triggers the fire suppressant system, which so the Marines come in and they figure out what Burke did. So Burke's plan was not only
planning on. Was he planning on the incubation period being paused or stalled because they were in
they're in cryosleep? Yeah, his plan was they're in cryosleep, and then what he was going to have to do was sabotage all the remaining Marines' cryosleep chambers so they all die, because otherwise they would say no, you can't. They have an alien in them, and he couldn't get past customs or whoever he paid off that way. Because
I felt like you talked about the timeline, but say the facehugger implants the egg or whatever. Within a matter of hours, the thing's going to bust out of them and the cryosleep thing and just destroy everything that's in that room. Like they're going to have to be like, you may not want to open that door because that thing is in there, or two of them are in there now.
The idea is that the cryosleep would suspend it. Because that's essentially what we get to in Aliens 3. It comes out a little bit along those lines as well, that during stasis things happened, and
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Aliens then end up attacking the remaining Marines in their little stronghold. Turns out that they were coming through the grates above them, through the air ducts above them. So it's a very cool, tense scene. Almost everybody dies at this point. Burke tries to escape and lock them in the room, and then an alien gets him, and then Bill Paxton dies after all his whining. He did die pretty bravely,
pretty epic,
shooting him up. Gorman and Vasquez blow themselves up to stop some aliens, to slow down the aliens as Ripley, Hicks, and Newt are getting away. Unfortunately, the explosion knocks Newt off into kind of like a sewer system underneath, and the aliens get her. So Ripley and Hicks get to the drop ship. Bishop has shown up, and Ripley is going to go back and get Newt. She glues together two guns. Has a cool tense scene where she goes down trying to find Newt, thinks Newt's dead, finds Newt. Newt's not impregnated yet, and then looks up and sees all the eggs. She's cocooned, but she's not impregnated yet. Yeah. But looks up and sees all the eggs, and go ahead, Kareem.
What, blowtorches the shit out of them?
No, the Queen.
Oopsies.
What about
my bad?
You were the one to talk about the Queen. This is a big moment.
No, I mean,
Queen alien. Turns out they're like bees or ants. Ant bees.
Ants, yeah. She's pumping out those, but isn't this dope? That is where Sigourney Weaver just starts taking a torch to them, right? Which pisses off the Queen.
It is where we discover the Queen is intelligent. So the Queen clearly has control over. Well, no, she has control over the drones, the other xenomorphs. Because
hive mind.
As Ripley is backing out with Newt, you can see the other xenomorphs coming towards them at the Queen's behest. Ripley shoots fire in the air, freaks out the Queen, and then Ripley points the flamethrower at the egg, and the drones back off.
Yeah, that's actually
so. Yeah. And then as they're about to escape, Ripley says, well, no, go fuck yourself, and shoots 8 grenades into the Queen's egg sack, and just blows everything up. And then the Queen's coming after them. They're running away. Bishop picks them up the last time.
She detached from her.
Yeah. But at the nick of time, Bishop picks him up, and that's the end of the film, right? It's over. Yep. We're done. That was the film. They survived.
He's in his little cryostasis, just sleeping away.
Hicks got burnt with acid, so they knocked him out.
Yeah,
that's why he's not involved.
All right, chasing after her.
So, yeah, she does. It turns out when they get the dropship back up to the Sulaco, the Queen, I guess, hung on to the landing gear.
Yeah, just Krypton, went for a little fly.
I wonder how much that queen must weigh, though, because I feel like they would have felt that, right?
Nope.
Very
not
light.
at all.
Very light.
She's like, I don't know, 8 times as big as like a drone or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure everything is chalked up to the big thermonuclear explosion. Like, the ship's the weight's off. Yeah, well.
Okay.
So as they exit the drop ship, and Ripley has a moment with Bishop, like, hey, you did okay. You're a good android. You're not all bad. You're one of the good ones. He gets ripped in half by the queen.
Now you're 2 of the good ones.
Yeah. Then Ripley gets the famous power loader. They have the big fight. The get away from her, you bitch fight. And once again, Ripley shoots her out into space. Ripley is able to survive, is not sucked out in this vacuum of space because she has a very strong forearm. And Newt is not sucked out into the vacuum of space because Bishop has strong fingers.
Yeah.
The end.
I mean, he does. He's a robot. We get that.
I mean, he almost
his makes sense. Her arm, like, she should have dislocated her shoulder, but at least
shouldn't have an arm anymore.
Yeah, he's got robot strength. I'm fine with that. Hers is a little more questionable. It's still cool though. It's so cool that I allow it. We all are like, no, that's cool.
It is a super cool scene. Describing it, you can make it like whatever, but it's a fantastic scene. It's a great film. Both the last 2 movies are great.
Sigourney Weaver should be in like a Mortal Kombat movie. It's like that's her fatality. She's sending him out into space.
Oh, that would be her cool. Move.
And is she in the power loader or not? That's my question.
I think she can do one with power loader and one without. I think again, that's her move. It's like send an alien into space.
Fair enough.
Don't actually kill them. Just cocoon their ass.
All right. So that's Aliens. We've now talked about the 2 best movies in the franchise.
And that's it. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate all your Patreon. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Nothing else happens after that.
We're not that lucky, and we're about to talk about a few quality directors and known writers just shitting the bed over and over. Next up is Alien 3. I'm going to go very quick here because it's just sad. Turns out the queen brought eggs with her. She had eggs. She just kept them, and nobody saw the eggs.
What?
Nobody even noticed. They just went in their cryotubes. Good night. Not going to check if there's any eggs or anything. Just going to loo. Time to go to sleep.
Wow, you got rid of the queen and you blew up her whole hive.
It's worth noting, though, there are 3 or 4 drafts and revisions of Aliens 3. Yeah. Aliens 3 released as a comic book, and then also another version that's been released as an audiobook, voiced by Lance Henriksen and Michael Biehn. So definitely those worth checking out. The comic is good, and then same thing for the audiobook. I haven't heard the audiobook, but since it has is it Lance Henriksen? It's Lance Henriksen, right? I'm not crazy.
As Bishop?
Yeah. Yes, it's Henriksen. Yeah, so Lance Henriksen is in it as well as Michael Biehn, and it's available on Audible. So
hey! What do you think you're doing? Don't try to redeem this section. We're talking about the third movie.
I'm just saying, go to audible.com/tangential and see if you can get.
Yeah,
I don't know
if it works. Let us know.
Yeah, please do.
Well, it'll surprise us.
Yeah.
It is. Ken, I think what you're saying is important because there were multiple attempts at doing an Alien 3 movie that kept falling to pieces. The initial teaser trailer was aliens on Earth. That was a lie.
Yeah.
And it ends up being they get a young director named David Fincher to direct this weird mishmash movie that it's clearly been in rewrite hell over and over. It's been long enough now to where they have to make some changes they probably wouldn't have made. It's been 6 years since the original Aliens. So the movie starts with those eggs hatching and going after people in the cryotubes, and then somehow they're bleeding. They get acid. I don't understand what made them bleed. Don't know how that happened. But it turned out,
yeah,
I guess. But
I didn't write it. Okay.
Yes, you did. The cryotubes. This is all your fault. The cryotubes are ejected because of the alien entity on the ship, and they crash land on, what is it called? Fury 161, I think is the name of the planet, which is a prison planet. The crash does not go well. Hicks is ripped to pieces. Newt drowns in her own fluids.
Oh, geez.
And Bishop is just like tattered pieces. Ripley survives though, because of course she does. Gets taken into the prison planet. Not a great place to be. She's the only woman. They make her shave her head because of there's a lice outbreak.
Ron Perlman likes it that way.
Ripley realizes, and anyone else can take over any time because my voice is not this great, but I'm going to keep going till you tell me to stop.
Keep going.
Ripley realizes there were aliens on board because she sees some burn patterns, so she makes Charles Dance, who plays the doctor on the prison colony, do a autopsy on Newt, which sucks. She blames cholera, which is evidently had been an outbreak in a long time for that. The movie is very dark and bleak.
Now, this is the one with the dog, right?
This is the one with the dog. It turns out there was still an egg with a face hugger with the cryotubes that ends attached to one of the dogs. When they actually do a really cool scene when they're doing the funeral for Newt and Hicks, and they burn them in like the big fire thing that they used to use the place to smelt lead for. You actually, while that's happening and Charles S. Dutton is giving a eulogy, you see the alien being born from the dog. Damn shame what they did to that dog.
Damn shame what they did to that dog.
Pretty much.
And now they got an alien running around. Ripley's not feeling well. She goes and finds the alien, kills her doctor friend, starts killing all sorts of prisoners. Ripley goes find the remaining Bishop to confirm that there was indeed an alien on board. Like, yeah, we got it. We know. She may actually do that right before the alien makes its presence known. She then also finds the medical equipment from the ship and finds out, hey, guess what? She's got an alien in her. It got her this time. And it's a queen. It's like a big girl.
I was saying,
I don't know if they know that at this point, but it seems like they do. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
They bleed together.
Yeah, exactly. They bleed because I'm not even sure if they realize that from this one or if it's in Resurrection that we get that. But yeah, I was very curious.
Queen gets her revenge.
Gotcha, bitch.
In any event, she's got a queen in there. Everything's going to shit. And at this point, the warden had been in contact with who else? Wayland Yutani and the military. And they had, once they found out it was Ellen Ripley, she became, nope, they were coming to get her. Priority number one. Don't do anything. Don't leave anything. So they at least they think it seems known that she's been impregnated by the alien. Like, it seems like they're aware, or at least they have an inkling. So they're sending a team down. The prisoners come up with a scheme to kill the alien, to lead them into the old lead works, and
because they got no weapons. So you had a team of Marines with tons of weapons. They got wiped out. You can only imagine what's happening to these prisoners without weapons.
Yeah, they're all British, and they all have fire. They can make fire. They got some sticks and boards. Not a lot. They're just using themselves as bait.
Basically,
first attempt does not go well. Half of them get burned to death because the alien startles someone, and a bunch of stuff catches fire. So the next attempt, at that point, when Ripley finds out she's got the alien in her, she goes back to find the big xenomorph now to have it kill her. It will not kill her, which is why they have the famous scene where the alien's face is all up on Ripley's face and then it walks away. Because it knows that's exactly what it did. Charles S. Dutton character promises to kill Ripley once it's all over, so she doesn't give birth to an alien. It doesn't have a burst out of her chest. They do the thing where they're using themselves as bait. They get the alien in the lead works. The alien will not stay in the lead works. With Ripley, it will only stay with meat that it will eat. So Charles S. Dutton's character stays down there. I cannot remember the name of Charles S. Dutton's character, which is why I keep calling him.
I know, but he was like yelling at him too. And then the alien was like, wait, I'm coming. Wait a minute. This feels like a trap.
He has a fist fight with the alien.
Yeah.
And tells Ripley, God will take care of you. And she's like, nuts. They do indeed pour the hot molten lead all over the alien. The alien pops out of the lead because these things are just almost impossible to kill. But they turn on the sprinkler system, which then heat meets
rapidly cools it.
Yeah, and the alien explodes. Yay, we're done. Nope. Here comes Weyland-Yutani, along with what they say. Oh, it's Bishop, but I'm the man that created Bishop, and I'm here to show you a friendly face.
I look just like Bishop.
Let us take the alien out of you and kill it. Ripley is not buying their bullshit.
She's also just tired.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to deal with it anymore.
She lost her daughter.
Ripley
lost her daughter, lost Jonesy. Like at that point,
lost Newt.
Yeah. So Ripley throws herself into the incinerator, and as she's being incinerated, the alien bursts out of her chest, but she holds on to it and burns up.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Bishop was an android Bishop because one of the other prisoners, known as 85, because that's his IQ, hits him in the head. And like his ear gets all dislocated. Like, oh, you're an android. Okay.
Fucking traitor. And when the alien hits the molten lava, he gives a thumbs up just like Terminator.
He did, just like whistles out, it just hisses, "I'll be back." And it was not wrong.
No.
All right.
We get resurrection after this?
Hey, but
we do.
We do. Charles S. Dutton, by the way, played Dylan.
Dylan, thank you.
Okay.
You son of a bitch. No, that different movie. Okay.
No. We will see quality begin to drop rapidly for the next three movies at least.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
But before we venture on though, because we're here in 1992, I think, and is it 1992? I'm getting lost.
For the next one?
No, for this one.
Alien 3.
Yeah.
In 1992, we also get Alien Wars and the Alien Wars toy line, which those who are watching at home can now see, and also cross-sell image. Those in the Discord can see it as well, where we get all the different toys from Kenner that are all like essentially built for just to sell more toys. So you get like a Ripley action figure, you get Corporal Hicks, Sergeant Apone, Drake.
Are these the ones that had the commercials? They were said aliens, and they were showing all the action toys. Yep. And it's like they're selling toys from the second movie for an R-rated movie for the third one. Where
R ratings were just suggestions, Pat.
Just like Rambo, just like RoboCop, we got toys for them because it was awesome. But it's also the time where we're getting like the gorilla alien, because apparently this is what looks like when you infected a gorilla with an alien xenomorph, and it's just like it's got a big old head. And there's a scorpion alien, and you can see all the. Yeah, they're all. It's all in the Discord, but take one. It was just so like it was awesome to me. Like it was so crazy.
I mean, it's as a toy concept, aliens are ingenious because, as to your point, they take on the host, and the host could be anything.
Yeah, the attributes of the host. So it's like, oh well, what does it look like when you get infected by a bull? And it has a little bull with horns. And these,
what if I would say, a whale alien? A whale alien.
I mean, to be a really big face.
Give it an idea.
Sure. Yeah. What if the alien xenomorphs landed in Jurassic Park on Isa Nebula?
Ooh. What is ATAX?
What's up? ATAX is he's got like an alien synthezoid body where he goes undercover and he infiltrates the alien lair. It was
so smart.
This is Alien Vice over here.
Yeah, I mean not like Miami Vice. They had this big kind of like just I want to say mech suit that was supposed to like infiltrate the alien hive and be like, I'll plant the bomb. He goes in there, plants the bomb, and gets out, and he's in the big.
Like the aliens just gonna sit there and be like, hey, Jeff, is that guy different than us?
Okay, what is? Have you seen this guy before? He wasn't at the cookout,
who
so
the fuck is this
I don't
guy?
know what we. Yeah,
I'm gonna go talk to him. No, man, I'm gonna go talk to him. Get your hands off me.
That's Larry. That's fucking
right, dude.
Who's O'Malley?
Oh, I don't know who some of these
He's
guys
a
are.
He's what he is, Pat.
Some of them are right out of aliens, and others are just like, well, we got to sell a toy for something. So like Bishop is got like this like another like arms that shoot rockets because he's an android. Cool. So yeah, exactly
arms that shoot. Is it just like powered punches?
Yeah, but as far as
as a kid, I always loved that idea, but practicality, that is the dumbest weapon ever.
I like though that
you're not playing enough Fallout, man.
I'm just saying, you got to go collect the arm.
Good.
Oh,
that's fair.
Oh, has an extendo arm that it's like you squish it and it goes boink. So yes, O'Malley, because they're trying to they want to be include everyone, so that's why we have O'Malley, because we need to make sure we get that Irish contingent. We don't want to leave them out.
The Irish love toys and aliens.
Exactly.
They get left out of this Power Ranger franchise.
I believe the hand problem you're calling about is known as the Android 16 paradox.
Yes. It in concept.
Take my hands off.
It's cool. I'm gonna take my hands off and I'm gonna punch you from a distance. And once the punch is over, it's Can I have that back, please?
That better be the last punch.
Exactly.
It's funny too, because like a lot of these designs and stuff would later go on to a lot of different Aliens media, because we if anyone's played the recent Aliens Fire Team, there are definitely like you can see notes of the designs in there. What's up?
So there you go, pitching this game again.
I didn't pitch the game again. I'm saying that it's out there. You can play it. Okay. It's your choice. I'm just saying they incorporated ideas and designs from that. It feels like they in the toys they had a queen face hugger, because they're like, well, what if the face huggers had a queen? Like, I don't know what's going on there, but yes, it's all out
queen.
There.
I feel like that bureaucracy was going to really run into a headway when the queen was like, wait, you have your own queen? No, this is bullshit. I gave you birth. I birthed you. You don't start your own little like bureaucracy underneath me. That's not how this works.
In the comics, they did end up having like a alien king, and they also had alternate hives. So like 2 different hives seeded a planet at the same time, and so amongst the killing of the humans, they also fought each other. And like there's content out there.
I always wanted to get into that.
I believe you were referring to Alien Hive World by Dark Horse. I think that was the name of it. And there's like a red strand of alien and then the traditional alien. And the red strand is a mutated version, and they're fighting for dominance because the royal queen, like the queen of queens, had been killed by us. It had been taken to Earth and then used to get all the aliens together on Earth and then blow them up.
There you go.
They forced her to call all the aliens to one spot.
Yeah, like they all came to her like, hey, because
help me, please.
Help.
Because she evidently can have telepathy, like space has no distance, has no meaning. She was seeding dreams in humans' heads. Like it get weird, man. It got weird.
I always wondered what it is they do other than kill humans.
I mean, kill livestock.
They make a nice bruschetta. Whatever the kind of strikes.
You get into the world of the alien where they are inviting people over for dinner party. I feel like that's not a thing they do. They just kind of sit around waiting for something to move and like, all right, I'm gonna kill it.
I mean, we have yet to, which I don't think we're gonna get to tonight, because I know we all need food, or some of us need food. But I mean, what they do on their downtime is there is no downtime. They're just made to kill. They're literally just killing machines, according to Romulus. No, not Romulus. Covenant. Prometheus. I love you, Promo-theus. Sorry. That's just it's from the critic, and that's always in my head whenever I hear Prometheus.
That is pretty awesome.
Oh no! Promo-theus!
Prometheus.
All right, Pat, give us Resurrection.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, Resurrection is a cash grab, I believe, in 1997.
How dare you? This is basketball, Sigourney Weaver.
I think it's like 200 years in the future, and we figured out cloning technology. And evidently, Ripley cut her finger somewhere on Fury or whatever the name is, 161, and they took that blood and cloned her and brought her back with the alien queen inside her. But they're a little mixed together, a little bit, like not too much, just a little.
I want a little bit of peanut butter and chocolate, a little bit of chocolate and peanut butter.
A little bit.
No, I want them to do a cutscene where they show all the guys when they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to have all of you guys are doing overtime. Why? Because we need to find Ripley's blood. It's like, really? Like, there's blood everywhere from everybody. How the fuck are we going to find hers?
Not only that
just sounds like a pitch meeting on Screen Rant, because I'm sure the guy who does those pitch meetings has done one on that. He does them for everything. He probably has them for that.
Beyond that, hey, can we store this blood for 200 years?
I mean, we have cryosleep, so yes.
But you gotta find it. And who's the guy that's like, I found it?
They just took all the blood. Just every piece, like, yeah.
Well, it wasn't even blood. I mean, because you have genetic tissue encased in the lead or whatever. That was the idea, right? Like, oh, well, her body's in the lead. It's just a little shriveled husk.
So her body's not in the lead. It was.
She went in the lava or whatever, right?
No, she went. Yeah, she went in the incinerator.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then pull her out of the incinerator. We got to just go in. Dave, get in the incinerator.
Pull out.
Go grab her.
It is called the incinerator for a reason.
So they got.
We have the unincinerator. So we got that right.
Yeah.
We're Weyland-Yutani. Why not? We're Amazon for
now, hey man, Weyland-Yutani's done. Dunzo. Don't even bring it up. This is all the military now. That looks, I think it's the Earth military, looks suspiciously like the U.S. military, the way they do things.
Suspicious, Pat?
You know what I mean? It's clearly modeled.
It might be a couple Black Rock employees there.
Like every dumbass scientist in these movies ever, they get these scientists up there on this military installation that's orbiting Earth. And have them clone Ripley and pull the alien queen out. And they, of course, have decided, well, we should study and weaponize the alien because that's all. We are just dumb. We're dumb. So they have the alien. They decide not to destroy Ripley. Like, oh, let's see what she does. That's weird. Let's see what happens here. Okay.
Now, mind you, she's like, 47th attempt or something? Like, there was several Ripleys before her.
This is Ripley.
We do find that eventually, yeah.
She has a tattoo on her that says 8, so you can guess how many other Ripleys there are before her. Though I don't think they count the original as one. So it's kind of like an Enterprise and then Enterprise A, Enterprise B. Like, there's one that predates all.
Yeah.
But then there's an Enterprise before the Enterprise because of the show Enterprise. So it gets confusing. In any event. As this is happening, the space pirates that the military hired to steal cryotubes so they could have some test subjects for the alien queen's eggs they now have arrive, bringing the cryotubes with them. Who plays the general? It's like a famous actor. I can't remember his name.
Well, Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky.
No. Brad Dourif is one of the scientists who wants to make out with an alien.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
The general
he's got a hard on for the.
He's in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's like the yeah, I know who you're talking about. Dang it.
Yeah.
Hey, just call him someone known to write it.
I just want to call him El Jefe because he's like that's the role he plays.
And who's the guy in the wheelchair?
All right. Well, okay. We'll go through the space pirates that they have hired.
So you have so what's her face? Not Sigourney Weaver. You just said her name, right? Winona Ryder plays Kaylee. She's the engineer. I know. But Kaylee, because this is all written by Joss Whedon before he made Firefly. So these archetypes are definitely here. This is a rough draft version of Firefly because you've got Kaylee who becomes Kaylee.
Does not end well for Nathan Fillion.
No, it doesn't end well for Nathan Fillion or anyone on the Firefly really. But yeah.
So the bad guy from The Crow, whose name escapes me, is the captain of the crew. Ron Perlman is the muscle of the crew. Mm-hmm. There is a guy with guns attached to his hands who is able to sneak in. There's a guy in a wheelchair, a big mechanical wheelchair. That
previously he had robot punching arms. Then he lost them and just had to replace them with guns.
So, this is a motley crew indeed. They have negotiated staying on the base for a couple days. Turns out Call, though, Winona Ryder has her own plans. She is there to murder Ellen Ripley to stop them from hatching the queen. And she goes to find Ellen Ripley. So the way they have security for doors is you have to breathe into a little vent, and that's how you identify yourself for the door. So at one point, Call has all this these multiple spray bottles, and she's spraying them in to get the general. She's got the general's breath in there somehow.
Yeah.
General Perez's breath, played by Dan Hedaya.
Yeah. There it is. Thank you. She goes in to kill Ripley. Turns out Ripley has already took the queen out. Ripley is creepy as all fuck whenever she has a conversation with the scientist.
She's like souped up as well.
She's what?
She's like souped up as well.
Yeah, she's the
apex predator now. She's not just alien. She's not just Ellen Ripley. She's Queen Ellen Ripley.
There you go.
She got alien DNA in her, and she flat out tells the scientist, yeah, you're gonna die. You're all gonna die. As mentioned, Brad Dourif is one of the scientists. Turns out Brad Dourif like tries to kiss one of the aliens, like through the glass, because he's weird and Brad Dourify. They discover the scientists discover Call trying to kill Ripley, so there's a big fight between the motley crew and the security on the space station. At the same time, turns out aliens are somewhat smart, and they've put 3 of them in one of the containment cells, and the 2 of them are talking to each other, literally like they're having a conversation somehow, and they decide to kill the 3rd one to use the acid blood to escape.
Yeah, it was real fucked up because the 3rd one was like, wait, what?
What? No, man, no.
Carl, Lenny, let's hear me out here. This is not the best plan.
We don't need to do this. No, just take my arm. Just take my arm. It's fine. No, bitch. No, you got God.
We're gonna kill the one guy whose name starts with the D. Hey, that's me. Ah, son of a bitch.
So now the aliens are loose. You know how this goes at this point. Aliens are loose. A bunch of scenes of terror. A bunch of people get killed. You can gloss over a lot of alien resurrection. At one point, there's a water scene where the aliens are swimming, chasing after them.
That's pretty cool.
And they get got. At one point, when Ripley meets up with the surviving pirates, she does so by shooting an alien and then ripping its tongue out and handing it to them, which was kind of cool.
That's right. She's not affected by the acid, is she anymore?
Because her blood is acidic as well. Because she cuts her inside the liver.
Which comes into play later.
Becomes acid. Yes, it does.
So it turns out now we're at the point where everybody has to escape. The general has been murdered by an alien. All the space marines that could get off the ship are off the ship.
Is Call killed by the general at one point? Is that where
I think she makes it.
So we're after.
There's a moment in there where she's quote unquote killed, but then we're like, what? She comes back. What's going on?
Yeah. I don't remember the order of events. I think it is they have the water fight thing. They escape. Or before that, they met up with like the head evil scientist that told Ripley, we're training you and we're going to train the queen. And with one of the guys that was in the cryotubes had an alien jammed inside of him. Ripley gives an explanation of what's on purpose for science. For science.
His name is Purvis.
Oh, Purvis? Oh, it was also on purpose.
Yeah. Played by Leland Orser. He's the guy who's eventually he grabs.
He has a similar role in Seven. He has a very similar. He's just the guy that gets fucked. In many different ways. So Ripley very politely and kindly explains to him what's going to happen to him. So he's freaked out. But this motley crew with the remaining space pirates, the head scientist, and Ripley and this guy, they're the ones that are trying to get back to the space pirate ship to get off of the space station. The water scene happens, and at that point, the scientist becomes a traitor, as all scientists are. Shoots Call. She falls back in the water, and then locks them all in the room with the aliens. Call falls into the water, and it's like a whole floating.
Well, then the scientist also promptly gets burked at that point too, right?
No, he doesn't get burked yet.
Okay,
he gets burked later.
Okay.
It's like head crushed in or something.
He, I think they have a Marine with them too at this point.
Yeah, DeStefano.
So they're trying to figure out how to open the door before the aliens get them, and then Call opens the door from the other side. Turns out she's an android. Man,
God damn sneaky androids.
She was one of those newfangled androids that was made to feel emotions and be human.
Okay, time out. Stop the bike. Time out. Come on, stop the bike.
And before they before they burned out their connector thing to the wider web, however they do it, before they found out about this alien project, and these androids decided to stop it, to save humanity. That's why she's there. That's why she got on the crew.
I think the synopsis of this movie should just be the inefficiency, because she was an inefficient android, and their plot to raise the queen the way that they do via Ripley was inefficient, because she can only give birth like a human, versus what the previous queen could do was just like pump out eggs.
I don't think they knew that though at the time of.
I thought they did.
I mean, they bet once the queen started to have that, because we get the reveal later on, and the Chucky scientist is alive. He's like, "This is what's happening," as he's in all that stuff. But they just figured that they just thought they had the standard issue queen, but
she can make eggs. So at one point, Ripley destroys Ripley's 1 through 7. Ripley 7's still alive.
Yeah, she does, because that's where they get the ones for the earlier harvesting, and the other xenomorphs that are on the ship are from those early eggs. But then there's an evolutionary change.
Yeah. Okay. Ripley destroys all.
I didn't write the movie. Joss Whedon did.
Yeah, Joss Whedon wrote it. It's as expected there. So yeah. Ripley destroys all the other clones. Then she gets captured by the aliens. There's a scene where like the alien is carrying her unconscious body to the queen, and it's like almost romantic. It's weird. That's when, as Ken said, Brad Dourif explains that, well, while a little alien got Ripley, little Ripley got an alien, and the alien queen is giving live birth to, I think it's called the newborn, which is an ugly, like gray, gooey thing, who, when is born, smells the alien queen, and the alien queen like, my baby, and then the newborn rips her jaw off, just like kills the shit out of the alien queen. Then goes to smell Ripley and like, oh, your mama, okay,
yeah.
Then, because Brad Dourif is talking shit, I think he crushes its head.
Yeah.
The newborn crushes Brad Dourif's head.
Brad Dourif gets really weird. Like, you're so beautiful.
Yeah, Brad Dourif like gets Brad Dourif with it.
He really goes over the top.
Everybody gets back to the ship. Ripley is trying to catch up to get back to the ship. While they're loading the ship up, the evil scientist shows up, and he's got a gun, and he's threatening to kill people. And at that moment, Purvis is about to burst. So Purvis grabs the evil scientist and basically uses a chest burster to burst through the evil scientist's head. Looks super cool. They shoot the chest burster. Ripley catches up, and then they're all set to escape and live happily ever after. Except the newborn has gotten on the ship and goes to
weird applesauce baby shows up.
Yeah, it like eats the Marine's head. Like bites his head and crushes it. It's really
he's very Frankenstein-esque. He moves slower and dumber than all the other aliens.
But Ripley goes in there and like is trying to calm him down, and she uses some of her acid blood to open a hole, like basically break open a hole in one of the windows on the ship that's about to re-enter Earth. is going about through re-entry to get back to Earth, and the alien newborn gets sucked out of the hole a little bit at a time and is screaming, "Help me, mother," or something like that.
In the vacuum of space, his ass gets pulled into the hole.
And just like a little like gooey, fleshy goo, like a newborn alien suit gets sucked out at the end. It is unappealing.
And it full on
gets pushing Play-Doh through a straw.
But then to the point where it's like it pulls everything off and it's left with a skull for a quick second, and then that crumbles up, and it's gross and really sad. Like you don't think you'd be like, oh no, that poor thing, but you do feel for it. Like it's horrifying. It's
because it is like it's a solid like 4 minutes of this.
Yeah,
like,
it's not quick.
Death.
It is not quick. It is just like
and Ripley and Call are just watching it, and Ripley looks sad, like, oh, my baby, my murder baby.
Yeah. And this thing is just like how, as it's like innards are getting pulled out from its asshole,
and then all the innards do kind of reform together into a husk and a little pod, and then that lands on
Earth, and then reconstitutes itself.
So AVP. They land on Earth, And that's the farthest out in the timeline we have gone in the Alien franchise. But
and
you know what's better than
the
looking
first time
forward?
in 280 years that Ripley's actually touched down on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what's better than going forward? It's called looking back, because we got a lot of past things to cover. We got a lot of things that happened in the past, important things, and things where each time we do one of them, it's going to screw up and counteract the continuity that was just established in the other.
How dare you, sir? It's building out the lore. You see the extended universe.
Oh, baby. We about to have some split timeline.
We had lore. There are all these books behind us. That
just throw it all in. Throw it all in. It's a nice alien gumbo.
It is a much, I will say the comics are a better story. I'm going to say it than what we ended up with.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them are definitely... Yeah. And I think mainly because they're so much more self-contained. They're not like really trying to. They're like, oh, this is gonna be the next movie. There's like, no, we can just do whatever we want with it, and it can be self-contained. And there's a lot of like interesting stories that they tell. So recommend the comics.
Where's the religious metaphors? Huh? Where are the religious metaphors, assholes?
That's fair. That's fair. They're not there.
Where's Guy Pearce in old man makeup?
There you go.
He's everywhere, actually.
Where's PG-13 style action that I need, where aliens and predators basically box with each other?
That is the good stuff. I dare you, Pat. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to jump to first?
I mean, you got to go in order, right?
I guess.
I'm not, you know what? Someone else, I'm not going to explain Alien versus Predator. You go ahead. If you can't, I'll do it, but I'm just going to, I'm going to be negative.
I think that might have to wait for another night, because this is
okay.
We have covered a lot. We've covered 4 movies, some toys, and yes, it's been it's been fun and it's been real, but it hasn't been real fun.
Damn, but fair.
Fair enough, because we're going to need to explore what the predators are as well before we even get into Alien versus Predator.
Oh God.
Oh, that's true. I mean, that's. The funny thing is too, like, there's so many things of outside media that I enjoy, like hence the toys that I talked about, the video games, the arcade game of Aliens versus Predator, where you play as like either a hunter alien or a warrior predator, and you like go through the levels. And again, it's like they showed like different styles, like, oh, this is the Chrysalis alien, and like they had just a bunch of random like tiers and levels of like, oh, this is a different type of xenomorph. And it was fun. They created a lot of.
Well, good... I mean, and maybe I'll do a little more research and finally try and sort out the timeline for AVP if there's.
Oh, I mean, the movies. There's.
What's up?
I mean,
well, because I mean, if Predator is the first incarnation of the Predator showing up on Earth, then AVP predates that, right?
No, because.
Well, the things in AVP does, not the actual movie itself, right?
The movie does not, but yeah, no. It turns out, and this is every Predator, like half the Predator movies. Oh, there were predators on Earth before.
Yeah, Predator 2 gives us the idea that there were Wild West predators. Like we get that from Predator 2.
Yeah, they get it from Prey.
New batch.
Oh no, we do in Predator 2 as well. Yeah.
I forgot about Prey in this context. Yeah.
And Prey.
Well, Prey is directly linked to Predator 2.
And AVP shows us that the Predator, like, well, what are humans even for? We're just breeding stock for their game of hunting aliens. That's what we're there for. That's what the pyramids are for. That's why they're all.
They had an efficient scheme. They had an efficient scheme.
Really? They had
an efficient scheme that apparently they just stumbled into this weird bio moss that was spawned by the engineers, and like, you know what we could use this for? I got an idea. Let's go and put this over here by the chickens. See what happens. And
well, they figured humans breed like fucking rats. Why not use them? If we want more than one xenomorph, we need to use these humans that just keep breeding everywhere.
If you look at today's modern numbers, I think we
get rid of 2 things. 2 for 1. We get a twofer.
Fair enough.
We will find as we go down this rabbit hole of shit that the Alien versus Predator side of things cannot exist with the Ridley Scott side of things. It should be mentioned. We mentioned that Ridley Scott directed Alien.
You're not thinking hard enough. You're not being creative.
After these, I don't want to be that creative. After these Alien versus Predator movies, Ridley Scott returns to the franchise with a little film called Prometheus, which was promised to be an alien movie, and turned out it was not at all.
It's Alien.
Maybe a
Hold
little bit.
my beer.
Yeah, it's Alien, but androids are more interesting. It's Alien, but I actually like making Blade Runner a little more.
Yeah. Like I said, it has religious metaphors and tries to explain something. Again, at whatever point.
Is it a metaphor when they're hitting you in the head with it?
The magazine, and then they try and
strangle you.
Yeah.
Just like with AVP, they're trying to get rid of humans.
They're not trying to get rid of humans, though, in AVP. They're just trying to
they need them.
Use them
the aliens want to get rid of humans.
No, the aliens don't want to get rid of humans. Aliens just want an alien.
They don't want anything. They just want an alien. The Predators don't want to get rid of humans either. They're okay with just using us as a plaything.
Well, I think by sheer virtue of the chest burster, they're like, again, problem 1 solved, starts a game for situation 2.
Yeah. Like humans are boring to hunt, but we can use them as breeding stock.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but again, they don't want to wipe us out. They're just like, they're useful.
They kind of do. They show you that opening montage.
In the opening montage, they show that they're like, we can just use them as they're a means to an end for our other other games.
They only blow up everything when like they're losing.
Yeah,
no, we're gonna lose. The aliens are coming. We should.
That is their fatality too.
Does this mean that in the original Predator, that Predator arrived like 20 years too early? But does it also mean that he was looking like for another pyramid with the aliens? He was like, I gotta find one of these.
He got lost. Probably
in my way. So annoying.
Yeah. He's probably on a mission to reactivate the pyramid and missed it by overshot it or whatever.
I mean, there are pyramids in South America, but where in South America?
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah,
he's Predator said.
Maybe he just got drunk
Colombia,
and like he just crashed his ship in the wrong area, or
and then he got fucked up by Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he drunkenly stumbled into the jungles.
And again, I want to like flash forward to like their home base. Or like, hey, didn't we send Todd out like a couple years ago to start the games?
Yeah, whatever happened to? He was supposed to like stock the fridge and get everything set up for us, and like
I haven't heard from him.
Yeah,
and I mean, the games are supposed to start in like 2 days, man.
And then they show up to AVP and they're like, well, I mean, things are here, but they're not exactly set. Thankfully, this crew of explorers stumbled into it. Like, you're supposed to collect these people and set them up, but instead thankfully we stumbled into these ice explorers.
These fucking humans just can't stop themselves.
It is set in an unspecified Central American country. Please go ahead, continue.
Okay.
I mean, but they do have the conceit of AVP that they're like, oh, the underground ice pyramid turned on, so we decided to explore it, and it was all a trap to lure us in. But it's like, if Frank would have done his job, it would have already been stocked. So who knows what the plan was?
Well, I mean, if he didn't run into Schwarzenegger, this would have happened a long time ago.
I mean, maybe because it's
the Predator 2 takes place in the future, right?
I mean, in the future, in the like further along the timeline than Predator 1, but not future from AVP. It's in the past for AVP.
But it's future LA from Predator 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think they mentioned an incident in Central America.
Yeah, exactly.
I think. Yeah.
I have a question about Alien versus Avengers.
Yes.
You want to read it? How cool it is?
Why don't they just go get the Infinity Gauntlet or like a cosmic cube?
So
they have to get it all together, right?
I mean, spoilers for people who haven't read it yet. It's not a big spoiler, but it is set in the future. So you have like T'Challa's son, and which by the way, for that, if you remember, there's an old animated movie called like The Next Avengers, where it had like all little kids, like Thor's daughter and Captain America's son with Black Widow. It's very much like it's those versions of those kids, but grown up, and very much continuing on with like the Wakanda in space thing. T'Challa and his son go into space and find like, oh, these people, what they thought were Shi'ar, are experimenting on xenomorph eggs. And as a last ditch effort, they're like, oh, the good guys showed up. Let's go ahead and send out our pods. And they shoot out a bunch of pods to go land on planets everywhere. And then Earth gets hit and xenomorphs are taking over Earth. And it's the future. So like, not all the heroes are still around. So that's where they're.
You say taking over, it looks like they pretty much took over.
No,
and I feel like
they work quickly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely like, oh, we're losing the war, and some stuff happens, and I'd recommend go read it. It's worth your time to read it. How many? We already recommended how many other comics? And also too on this note, there's other comics out there that during the time where it was still a Fox property, you had Green Lantern versus aliens, and you had JLA versus Predators, and there's a lot of different.
But now they're busy fighting Godzilla.
Yeah,
there's a Batman alien comic.
There's a Batman.
Batman fights everybody. You fight the Predator.
No, because you have a Joker-fied alien too at one point in one of those comics because they made a toy of it, and
the alien's all teeth, and so is the Joker. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, he has a big grin, but there's also like
capacity.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff out there. It's worth your time if you have access to them. They're fun.
I'm looking forward to reading it. I got it reserved at my local comic shop. But
there's also a What If Aliens out there that's like a What If comic about the second movie, which I'm aware of, but I haven't read yet.
Like the second Aliens movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't they just come out with like from What If Carter Burke won and Paul Reiser helped write it?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's funny.
Like
so.
Probably didn't need that, but okay.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
Or did we, Pat? Corporations are people too.
So true. So true. Weyland-Yutani for life.
Yep.
I'm going to get my Weyland-Yutani shirt to wear with my Fast and Furious cross because it's all family.
There you go.
If we had to think about the Avengers in the MCU current form, could they be able to defeat the aliens if there was just like a mass horde of them?
A mass horde of the Xenomorphs or a mass horde of Avengers, like Endgame stuff?
No, just the regular. Just like the Avenger, the core Avenger group.
I'd say
could defeat a mass horde.
You think so?
I question that because essentially you have the scene in Infinity War shows that like they would fight them, but they'd still struggle because like even with Thor out there, like if you're taking like just maybe the main 7-ish. Like Thor, Captain America, they're all fighting them in Infinity War as they break through the gates of Wakanda, but like they keep pouring through. And it's like depending on what you're gonna like. Also, the problem is too is like how lethal are the Avengers gonna be, and that's where you kind of start to like.
I think by the sheer acid alone, that takes out like half of them instantly.
Well, I mean, Black Widow and Hawkeye aren't getting far.
Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain America are all done.
Yeah, they're not doing well. But here's the thing. We're saying all of the Avengers, which means we have Iron Man there too.
Iron Man.
His suit will melt.
But it's not the mass. It's not the hundreds of aliens. It is there's an infection. There's a queen making eggs. That's where they're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like it's not that like if all their enemies are right there and they're at full strength and they can like Avenger it up and come up with a plan. Like Black Widow and Hawkeye are dead. Maybe Captain America, it'll be heroic death. But between Thor and Iron Man and Hulk, they can probably get it done.
Yeah, Hulk definitely lends a fair amount to the battle, especially if you have kind of Savage Hulk. I'm trying to think of like who else. I mean, Vision. If Vision's in there too, he's able to just kind of like, I'll just phase through you and cut you to laser beam you. So he's a force to be reckoned with.
But now Scarlet Witch then, yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, she just poofed them away because her powers are yes. So, like,
but
okay,
I think.
Or does she feel that another mother isn't something she would hurt, and she's like, oh no, I sympathize with you, all your kids. Does
she switch course and go after Ripley out of anger?
Switching sides. Yeah. It's okay.
You can suck her a hole. You're a horrible mom.
Yeah.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Given her how crazy they write her from sometimes, maybe. I really don't think it is the mass attack. It is the infection. It's dealing with a New York City where there are multiple alien nests and they can't detect them all. And they don't know enough about like the physiology of the alien eludes them because of the way it's built and just.
I mean,
that is where they get fucked.
You're not going to be able to get rid of all of them.
Yeah, and this is semi-spoilers for the comic too. They speak to the idea that like part of the problem for them early on was that they kept trying to like once someone gets infected, like, oh, how do we save them? It's like you can't if you just can't save them, and there's the emotionality to that where them trying to save people hinders them from stopping the alien threat. So
just like the zombies, though, what happens? Do they discuss what happens when a superhero gets a xenomorph?
I don't think they speak to any superhero infected in that way. But also like with the zombies though, there's also not the idea that it's like essentially a supernatural virus because they're still like, I'm Dave and I'm running around biting people. Hi, I'm Dave, and like still talking.
Well, because I would assume if they're using whatever genetics as the incubation period or whatever, that whatever xenomorph comes out of like Thor is going to be like, all right, time to go electrify some shit up.
Yeah, it will. That would call into question. What is a god? Is a genetic
fair
trait?
Enough. Maybe not him in particular,
but like
the thing, Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man or the thing like he has rock hard skin. So what does that mean? And like those are Mr. Fantastic, where he's got stretchy skin. Like you have those kinds of questions. Yeah, Spider-Man because he just leaps a little bit better. Is that his big thing?
Mr. Fantastic's Mr. Fantastic
Spider-Man does not have organic webbing. That's horrible. You're wrong. It's from a web shooter.
Oh, sorry.
Why couldn't they say Mr. Fantastic? He can basically stretch his organs out of the way and just have them cut the alien out.
Yeah, and he can't be pierced either. Although I guess I don't know. Does he just trap the alien inside after it's born? He's like, no, I'll just crush you with my own parts. I don't know.
Yeah, like just puts him like, I'm going to put you in this corner over here. It will hurt when you burst out, but you're not going to hit anything important.
Yeah, and is he not as like I don't know. I think the way they get past a lot of those questions is it's the future and some of those people aren't there.
Yeah.
So that's their way of getting around like, oh well, what happened to this person? Oh, they're not there. This is the future. They're not alive anymore.
Well, what about like a Hulk though? Then you get a Hulk xenomorph.
I think you got to go read the comic, and then we can meet back up next week and discuss.
Or does Hulk's body just like kind of crush it anyway out of defense?
Or you could read the comic and we could talk about it next week.
No, I like to speculate. Damn it, wild speculation.
Wild speculation, and then go read the comic and we'll discuss.
No. You keep saying read the comic. That means that'll give me answers. That ends my wild speculation.
No, wait. You speculate right now, and then you go in.
Curry, the good thing about a comic is that it's just going to give you new things to speculate on wildly.
You shut up! I'm so fucking scared right now. You shut up.
Fair enough. Like the Human Torch.
There you go.
A xenomorph torch would be awesome.
What about a Doom alien?
And then there's an
arrogant alien just walks away.
Nope, it was a Doom bot. Gotcha, sucker.
Well, I mean, and then the other side of that too is like, well, what about the Brood, which are just xenomorphs? And like, you've got Wolverine, and he gets infected, and he's just like, nope, never mind. Super healing factor. Go away.
I do kind of want the Brood, and I want one to infect the other.
Yeah.
I want to see the Brood infect the alien, or vice versa.
Again, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter, or did I get my peanut butter and your chocolate? What's going on here?
Well, it's just a standstill. Them scratching your head, like, all right, so what happens now?
Yeah, it's just like and the watcher's just going like, Jesus, I didn't plan for that.
Oh, Watcher alien.
I'm gonna go hang out. I'm gonna go hang out with Peggy.
Yeah. Yep. Old time traveling, jumping Peggy.
What's going on in Araco right now? What's going on over there? I should go check that out.
There you go.
This ain't good. This is less than exciting. This went very poorly. Smartest man in the universe, my ass.
There you go.
All right, so that sums up our first half. We will be back with a second half.
We will, with more hot alien action.
The hottest
and predators. Well, I guess they're considered aliens. Well, they're considered aliens.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm saying xenomorph, so people know what we're talking about.
You're right.
More hot xenomorph and predator action.
I don't know. The predators are pretty hot too in their fishnet.
I mean, technically, again, they're Yautja.
They're very warm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're tropical people with the dreads and the fishnet.
I know you're not saying this.
Actually, it's called locks now, by the way, just to be clear. We call them locks.
Yes.
Go on.
Every time you say that, though, I hear Yamcha from Dragon Ball. Whenever you say the predator species name, So I just think, these are the most ineffectual predator aliens ever.
Yamcha, okay, he did it. He did damn good. Like everyone else, Yamcha, he fought.
No, the problem with Yamcha is that he just gave up after a while. He was like, you know what, this fighting shit is getting out of hand, guys. I'm retiring. I'm done with this
smart one.
shit.
Exactly, he's the smart one. He's like, this is nonsense.
I only need to die once.
Exactly. I'm not getting blown up again. Forget that. I'm going to go retire from video boxing as a champion and just sit on a beach and drink beers. Like,
and then
Yamcha's got to go.
And what's his Tien finally came out of the closet and we're like, you know what? We're going to go be ourselves over here.
Yeah.
Krillin, you can keep dying.
Why go to Namek and get killed again and again and go off and do, like, no.
Well, Tien still showed up for the Cell Saga too.
Yeah. So the takeaway here is show up next time for more Dragon, Rock the Dragon Ball
Z.
Perfect.
Good night, everybody. I don't know how this works.